Hello Sagittarius, this is a timeless reading for you and I'm using my own tarot cards. We are starting your reading with the card No, and then comes barrenness, acceptance, wisdom, open and totality. The No card and barrenness, there was some kind of rejection or something that just didn't work out, something that didn't come to fruition. There was a door that was just closed for you. Within this barrenness where seemingly nothing would grow, we still have this tiny plant starting to grow in the midst of this desert ground. So it's not entirely barren. Whatever it is that didn't work out, it seems that there is a little bit of hope, or suddenly when you don't expect it, you're seeing some small shifts and changes. Like suddenly something is growing, it has already grown, but it was just so small that you either didn't see it or you didn't acknowledge it. The good news is we have the acceptance card. Of course, this could just mean that you have accepted that this kind of stagnation, this rejection, or just, something that didn't properly grow. But also, this was actually the first impression I got when I pulled the acceptance card. There is rain in the picture, and that's a good sign because we have a desert ground here with this tiny plant. Now rain can, help the plant to grow and can also help to make the other seeds that maybe are buried somewhere also to sprout. The rain is actually a very good indication that some kind of help or abundance is coming in that will help you to, or that will somehow in some way fertilize your work. Like you have prepared everything, you have worked on something, it didn't show any proper results, but now this is changing because there is this helpful rain coming in, and the rain just can be a metaphor. This help can come in form of a person, but it can also just be a very lucky circumstance. We have the wisdom, open and totality. Actually, I want to look at them all together here because they are creating this holistic picture of something. Like this could be a very spiritual experience for you. Both of it. First, this rejection or, this disappointment, this, that something just wasn't possible. It just wasn't open for you. And during this time, you have realized something, you have learned something, but now suddenly it shifts into something very positive and the help is coming in. This is just another teaching for you, like the negative and the positive things that are happening, they are just both together completing something within you, helping you to gain this wisdom to understand something. I also feel like this open card, it is not just you being open towards life, you being open towards both of these experiences, the negative and the positive ones, being open towards, gaining this wisdom, but it also makes me feel like there's a person that you are opening up towards too, and the other way around. This could be a romantic thing that is coming in for you as well, but it could also be a friendship or, some kind of other relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic. And you will jump into this with totality, like entirely sure, with a lot of trust. And the same goes for the other person, which is quite nice. This reading is very short and simple, actually. I actually was planning to make it a little bit longer, but it's very directly to the point. the Aries reading was also very short and clear. The other readings were a little bit longer. I just want to take a look again at the bottom of the deck as well. It's just a confirmation. We have disillusionment. I would like to place this on barrenness and no, because you learn something from this. Sometimes when we have to wait in front of a very closed door, we have a lot of time to think about things. And you have gained this. Actually, I also want to put it onto wisdom and open, because, you know, in her head, you know, this bubble of illusionment is breaking, it's exploding. There is no fantasy, there is just the reality that stays, and her third eye is opening. So it is also speaking of wisdom and just openness. It's very nice. We have relief, just a confirmation. Disillusionment, in the first moment, especially with things not going our way, being rejected, whatever this was, it is painful, it's a disillusionment. But if we have a very profound disillusionment, it is a relief. Because sometimes when we are in a situation where we suffer, it helps us to understand something, and then we might never in our life suffer from the same thing again. We have autumn here. Maybe this situation was during autumn where something was stuck, something was fading out, dying away, and you couldn't, you tried to build it up again, or to not let it fall apart, but it fell apart. But this is a past energy, this is over. And it could even be that until next autumn, you know, your life will be entirely different, and you will be established in this wisdom and openness and totality, and just stay with it, you know. Sometimes life is shifting back and forth, but you know, sometimes, especially with wisdom, as I said earlier, if we have a very profound disillusionment and we might get back into a similar situation where we in the past once suffered, we will not suffer anymore or get stuck on this for too long, because we already understood it. So we will handle it differently, and we will move away and not try to fix things that can't be fixed or open doors that can't be opened, because we have learned something better. Imitation. Oh, I feel like maybe you were, if this, for example, was a career thing that didn't work out and the door was just closed, maybe it doesn't necessarily mean for everyone that whatever this was that you wanted is not the right thing. It could be the right thing, but maybe the way to get there was in some kind of sense like you were imitating or trying to imitate someone else's way. You looked, maybe you had some kind of idol, and you thought like, oh, they got there this and that way, so I'm gonna try this and that way too to get there as well. But you know, sometimes it is not the goal that we have that is wrong, but the idea of how to get there. And maybe this is a lesson that you have learned, or that you will learn, that you don't have to imitate someone else's path. You will go your own path. And then we have love, and this is of course a very nice card, especially referring that I said to what I said earlier, that yeah, there's just some nice relationship coming in, or just being reborn. It can be romantic, but it doesn't have to be. Also, love is something very holistic. It can be something very collective. It doesn't necessarily have to only represent this energy that I was already talking about, but you know, it can just be some kind of very profound and spiritual love that you find within your heart, not in your emotional heart, but in your spiritual heart, which is much more profound. And look at these three cards together. Wisdom, love, and totality. Very spiritual, very nice. So I'm going to leave that here. And I'm going to pull some numbers and letters for you. And see. Maybe you find some initials or numbers that make some sense to you or remind you of something or someone. We have 366 or 99. Another, so maybe it's 999, or maybe if you want it's 666, I don't know. And we have 2, 7, okay. And we have G, I, T, another I, maybe it means you have to focus a lot on yourself. L, V, T, Z, and P. I'm gonna shift the camera a little bit. What can we form? No live, no love, because we don't have an E. And also no O. We have lit. Pit. I think it's not a proper name. Jill. If we had a U, then we had guilt, but we don't have a U. We have TV. If we had another L, we had pill. Sometimes it's so hard to find words in here. I can't find any other word. Can you find another word in here? I don't. Also not a name. So many I's, sorry. Maybe I can find a German word. German name, Till, but actually we would also need another L. No, I can't figure any more out here, so I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching.